Welcome to Studying with KJ. Today, we'll be going over dividing a fraction by a fraction. Now, before we get into solving some problems, let's go over the 3 steps needed to solve these type of problems. So step 1 reads, keep the first fraction the same. Step 2 reads, change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Step 3 reads, flip the second fraction or find its reciprocal. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get into solving some example problems. So example 1 reads 2 over 3 divided by 1/5. Or in other words, we're trying to see how many 1/5 are in 2 over 3. So let's start off with our first step, which is keep our first fraction the same. So let's rewrite 2 over 3 below, being that we're keeping that the same. Step 2 is change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So let's change our division sign to a multiplication sign below. Step 3 reads flip the second fraction or find its reciprocal. So let's change 1 over 5 to 5 over 1. And now we can go ahead and multiply both of our fractions. So let's first multiply our numerators. So 2 times 5 is 10. And let's multiply our denominator. So 3 times 1 is 3. So if your teacher wants you to keep your answer in the proper fraction form, then 10 over 3 is the final answer. But if your teacher wants you to change, or for your final answer to be a mixed number form, then we have to change our proper fraction to a mixed number. And here's how you do that. So in order to change 10 over 3 to a mixed number, we have to see how many groups of 3 can go on to 10, which is 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. Anything higher than 3 will be too much. So that will leave us with a remainder of 1, because 3 times 3 is 9, and to get to 10, you need to add 1 more. So we'll put 1 as our numerator, and then we'll keep our denominator of 3 the same. So that leaves us with a final answer of 3 1/3. So now let's go over number 2. Number 2 reads 7 over 9 divided by 1/2. Or we're trying to see how many 1/2s are in 7 over 9. So our first step is to keep our first fraction the same. So we'll rewrite 7 over 9 below. Our second step is to change our division sign to a multiplication sign. A little sloppy. And then our third and final step is to change our second fraction to its reciprocal, or flip our second fraction. So we'll change 1 over 2 to 2 over 1. And now we can go ahead and multiply our fractions. So if we multiply our numerators, 7 times 2, that will give us 14. If we multiply our denominators, 9 and 1, 9 times 1 is 9. So now let's change this 14 over 9 to a mixed number. So how many groups of 9 can go into 14? 1. So 1 will be our whole number of our mixed number. And then our remainder will be 5, because you need 5 more to get to 14 from 9. So 5 will be our numerator. And then we'll keep our denominator of 9 the same. And that will be our answer, 1 5/9. So now let's go on to our third and final example problem. 3 over 4 divided by 3/5. Or in other words, we're trying to see how many 3/5 are in 3 over 4. So let's go over our first step, which is to keep our first fraction the same. So let's rewrite that below. Our second step is to change our division sign to a multiplication sign. And our third step is to flip our second fraction, or find its reciprocal. And we'll change 3 over 5 to 5 over 3. So now we can go ahead and solve. So let's multiply our numerator. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then multiplying our denominators, we'll get 12, because 4 times 3 is 12. Then we can go ahead and change our improper fraction of 15 over 12 to a mixed number. So how many groups of 12 go into 15? 1. Which leaves us with a remainder of 3, because you need 3 more to get to 15 from 12. So 3 will be our numerator, and then we'll leave our denominator of 12 the same. So that leaves us with 1 and 3 over 12, but that isn't our final fraction because it isn't in its simplest form. Well, we changed that into its simplest form is by dividing 3 and 12 by its greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor of 3 and 12 is 3. So we'll divide the 3 by 3 and the 12 at the bottom, our denominator, by 3. So when you do that, we'll keep 1, our whole number the same, and then 3 divided by 3 is what? 1. And our denominator, our new denominator will be 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that leaves us with a final answer of 1 1/4. So that concludes today's lesson. Remember, the more you go over these type of problems, the better you get. Thanks for studying with KJ.